From Spring Hill, Tennessee, it's Marriage Helper Live.
And now, your hosts, Dr. Joe Beam and Kimberly Beam Holmes.
If you are facing some kind of marriage difficulty, no matter how big or no matter how small, and you're looking for some kind of help to get past that, then you have come to the right place. I am Dr. Joe Beam, and this is Kimberly Beam Holmes, our CEO of our organization here at Marriage Helper. And if you have a question, we have an answer. If you have a problem, we have a solution. And we're here to help you today in whatever it is that you need to talk about. You can call us. Let's see, Kimberly, I can't see that screen. What is our number?
615-912-2998.
Okay. All right. So anything we need to talk about before we take the first call?
We got a lot of exciting things that are going to be coming up in the hour that we have together. As always, we're going to be hearing from some of our team members. I'm going to be telling you about something pretty special that we're going to be doing tomorrow. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that. But I think right now we should head to a caller. Who do you want to start with, Joe?
Oh, I can't see those.
Oh.
I'm not having a good vision day today.
Let's go to Diana from California. Her husband has filed for divorce and moved out. Diana, what is the question we can help you with today?
Hi there. So my husband and I have been married for about 3 years. He had moved out of our home about 3 months ago, and he's already filed for divorce. So the most recent interaction that I had with him was about a 5.5-hour phone call. And, we had a very good phone call together.
Okay, so
we
you
were
talked to
talking
each other
about,
for 5 hours, is that correct?
Yes, 5 hours
Okay.
straight. And
so
I
Diana,
think,
how may we help you? What is your question?
I'm just trying to figure out how can I work on convincing my husband to move back home and reconcile on our marriage.
Why did he leave?
He left because we were having a lot of disagreements, and he cheated on me, so he's moved out. Chose to move out, and he's also dealing with alcohol.
Did he move out from you to go be with the other woman?
No. So when we had that recent phone call, I changed the tone of my voice when talking to him. So he admitted that he was talking to other women, but he was only having an emotional affair.
I see. Does he want to fix the marriage?
He says that he doesn't trust me, so he's not really resorting to working on the marriage.
If I may ask a question, why doesn't he trust you?
He says that he doesn't know if I'm going to blow up on him or start another argument. So
Have you done that a lot?
I have admit, yes, I've done that a lot, and I have changed.
What helped you to change? Are you sure that you have changed?
I have, actually. I recently turned to spiritual healing, and I started going to church again. So with that, I learned to forgive my husband for cheating on me, and I expressed that to him, and I also apologized to him for my actions. And I think that's why we ended up having a very long conversation that night.
That sounds like a step in the right direction. So, Diane, one thing to remember is this. If a person is afraid of you blowing up and that kind of thing, typically that means that person doesn't want to feel controlled. They don't want to feel like things are out of control at the same time. And so I don't want you to control me by yelling at me, screaming at me, or whatever it might be. At the same time, I don't want to feel like life is out of control, so don't control me, but don't put life out of control. Which means that if you try to get him to move back, the great likelihood that his interpretation of that is going to be, oh no, she's still going to be controlling. And so rather than trying to encourage him to come back, I would recommend, and we'll ask Kimberly's opinion on this in just a second, but I would recommend that what you do is that you demonstrate consistently how much you have changed in whatever conversations you have with each other. And at some point, it'll be okay for you to say, by the way, if you ever wish to come back, I would love for us to talk about that. But then don't push it. Don't make it a big deal. And the more that people try to save their marriages, the more that people try to get things to get back to where they were before, the more likely it is that they're going to actually push the other person away without realizing it. Kimberly, do you think I'm off track with that or not?
I think a lot of people are going to hear that and say, that doesn't sound like it makes any sense. What do you mean the more I try and save my marriage, the worse I'm going to make it? And that's just because we get so caught up in, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And in Diana's case here, I mean, we heard the evidence of it. I changed my tone. And that's why we ended up having a conversation for 5.5 hours. I changed the way that I did something that I knew was pushing him away. I became calm. I did the things that would pull him back to me instead of continuing to do the things to push him away. And that is starting to make a difference. Now, the question was, how can I convince him to move back home? And the question to that is, you can't convince him. It is consistency over time of doing the right things. How do we know you've changed? How do you know you've changed, right? This was the question that Joe just asked. Sometimes people change short term in order to get what they want right then. But the fear of the spouse who wants out of the marriage is you've only changed because of that. If I come back, is it just going to go back to the way it used to be? And that's why consistency over time is the best thing that you can do to quote unquote convince your spouse to want to come back and work on the marriage. You're not actually convincing them through words or argument. You're convincing them through the way you're treating them. And that makes all the difference.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's a very good answer.
Let's move to Christian from California, who has a question about his wife's current behavior. Is she wanting to reconcile, or is she just being nice for us to co-parent well? Christian, welcome to the show. How can we help you today?
Hi, Kimberly and Joe.
Hello.
Thank you for taking my call. Yeah, so we've been separated 4 months. She filed for divorce a month ago, so it wasn't immediately. In the beginning, she was very indifferent, didn't want to talk about the marriage. Even though we did counseling sessions together, we did it 4 times, and she kept repeating herself that she's no longer there. She wouldn't directly say she doesn't love me, but that she's not there anymore. She's tried, and fast forward to about 3 weeks ago, we had about a 20-minute conversation where I kind of described my new perception changes, what I'm doing to improve, because I know I destroyed her emotional safety, and I tried
may I
to
ask, how did
let her
you
know.
do that? How did you destroy her emotional safety?
I was gone a lot for work, so I was really stressed. I was gone 2 out of the last 3 years, and I was mean to her, and I would threaten divorce.
I see.
I would tell her what I needed to feel validated, to feel loved, but I didn't do it in a healthy way. I was very mean about it because I didn't know the correct way to express my emotions.
I understand. But
And I caught her. I caught her talking. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You caught her what? I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Talking with someone else.
I caught her talking to somebody else. She denied it until I presented facts. And then she said it was just a friend. She still won't admit that it was an emotional affair or physical. I don't think it was physical. That's not who she is. She's a Christian
And
woman.
what
but
happened in
I
the
do believe it was
conversation that you had with her a couple weeks ago, the 20-minute conversation?
Oh, yeah. Just like I said, I was explaining how I'm better. I don't want her to fear me anymore or the way I respond to her, because she did mention, like, with my text messaging to her, she's still very short and vague, but she says she responds because she doesn't want me to get angry that she's not responding. And I tried to explain to her, not angry. And then the conversation, it went well, I think. She said she's trying not to cry, and I asked her for a hug, and she actually embraced me, which she hasn't before. She either said no, she doesn't want to lead me on, or she gave me a one-arm hug. This time she actually hugged me. But then she seems to pull away and distant again. I try to text her to keep the conversation going, but she's still short. She responds, but she's still short. And
So
I just don't know if I'm
how can
making
we help you?
headway.
Mark, what can we do for you?
Christian.
Oh, I'm sorry, Christian. I called him Mark. I'm sorry, Mark. Okay, you're a Christian named Mark now. Okay, that's the new thing.
Yeah.
How may we help you,
That's
Christian?
fine. I just want to know how I should navigate this going forward. Like, her birthday's coming up on Sunday. Should I ask her out to dinner strictly for her birthday? How should I just talk to her to try and bring her back? I know you guys say don't focus on that, don't focus on the outcome, but
Right. Right.
I just don't want to lose the little bit of headway I think I'm gaining.
Yeah. I mean, your original question was, is she trying to move back towards me? Is this an opportunity for reconciliation, or is she just doing this for us to co-parent better? And similar to what we said to the last caller, Christian, you can't make a long-term decision based on that she has changed her mind and is wanting to come back to the marriage based on one really great 20-minute conversation. Now, that 20-minute conversation is a win, and you should celebrate it. You apologized. She seemed to open up more to you. She turned towards you in that with the hug. But it makes sense. I mean, when people get scared, especially after becoming more open and vulnerable, they tend to kind of back off after that. And if your relationship has been such, like you said, where you have been not an emotionally safe place before, this could be a very normal reaction on her part of what's going to happen now. Is this someone I can trust, or has he changed? And so she's kind of retreating back into herself, perhaps, to see how you're going to respond from this point forward. So I would continue to do the things you know are working because they're the right things to do. Yes, continue to do all of the things that evoke good emotions within her that she enjoys feeling. Stop doing the things that are evoking negative emotions, but I wouldn't push her for any kind of decision soon, because that's going to make her feel like she felt when things weren't good. What would you add, Dr. Joe?
Well, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But you're saying, okay, her birthday's coming up in a couple of days. Shall I ask her out? If you do it where it's a very open invitation that she could feel comfortable saying no, yeah. Just say, hey, no agenda, just would love to take you out for your birthday. Would you like to go? And if she hesitates at all, say, hey, I understand. I just would like to take you out if you want to go. And then don't push it whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And if she goes, let her do most of the talking, listen, try to understand her emotions, and don't expect anything other than having dinner together or whatever you do when you go out. It's almost like you've got to start over. And so treat her as you would a woman that you're taking out for the very first time. Do that and be gentle. And Kimberly's absolutely right. She has every right to be reticent and pulling back from you. And it's, what did you say, consistency over time?
Consistency over time. That's the key. We're going to just change the title of the show. Not really. But, one of the things we're talking about here is one of our principles that we teach, which is called SMART contact. And so for those of you who are new and you may not have heard this term before, or maybe even for those of you who have seen one of our YouTube videos about it or anything like that, SMART contact is an acronym that we use at Marriage Helper that is ours, that we created, that actually guides you through a process of how to change the way you communicate with your spouse in your marriage. So every letter of SMART, S-M-A-R-T, stands for something that you need to do in a specific order in order for you to calm the chaos in your conversations with each other, stop all of the fighting, and begin to pull your spouse back because you're changing the way that you talk to them. We actually have a special that we're running on our SMART Contact Toolkit. It's regularly $149, but we're running it for $9. And my producer, we are. Jason doesn't know I'm promoting this right now. So people are probably going to be, on our end, are going to be scrambling to get the link, but we'll put it in the chat. We'll put it in the show notes later. So good. It is the easiest $9 that you could spend to go and get that full toolkit, where we teach you not just about each letter in specifics, like we go through each letter about 20 minutes, but then we have a lot of conversations with each other after that of, okay, so how do you know when to ask your spouse to dinner or take it a step further? We have guidelines and a bunch of things with that we can share with you. So shameless plug, SMART Contact has helped so many people, and it's one of the things that we're known for here at Marriage Helper. So would love for any of you to get that. It will help your communication.
I love to hear about things when the public does at the same time.
Yeah, that's the way it works around here.
$9. It costs us a whole lot more. But so, yeah, Kimberly's the CEO. Whatever she says, that's what we
It's
do.
because it's important. People need it, and we want to make it affordable to you because we know that this is going to make a huge difference now. This is one of the best quick wins that you can begin to see. You've heard it from the past two callers. I changed my tone. I changed the way I responded, and they responded back in kind. That is what we teach you how to do more of inside of the Smart Contact Toolkit. But with that, we are going to go to Michael's Motivational Minute. So let's cut to Michael Felker, part of our team here at Marriage Helper.
Hi, my name is Michael, and this is your Motivational Minute. One of my first spelling teachers was Aretha Franklin. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. Today, I want to talk to you about respect. I want to encourage you to respect yourself, respect your values, and respect your worth. When it comes to respecting yourself, what that might look like is taking care of your health, getting enough rest, eating well, moving your body because you're worth it. Respect to yourself might be speaking kindly to yourself. Stop the negative talk. Don't keep thinking that you're worthless or that you'll never change. Replace those lies with the truth that you are growing, that you are learning, that this is a season. And then respect yourself by keeping the commitments you've made to yourself. If you say you're going to get up early, do that. If you're going to finish a project, do that. Take time to focus on yourself and keep the commitments that you've made to yourself. That's how you can respect yourself. I also want to encourage you to respect your values. Know what it means, what really truly matters to you, and then live by it. If honesty is one of your core values, then refuse to lie. If you want to live at peace, then don't be the one that starts the fights. Speak up with strength and gentleness and be calm in all situations. If your spouse or somebody else pressures you to do something that goes against your values, simply say, "That's not who I am. I can't agree to do that." And then I want you to respect your worth. I want you to set boundaries. If your spouse yells or demeans or crosses a line, you don't have to accept that. You can calmly say, "I'm not going to stay in this situation if we're going to be yelling. Let's take a break." Respect your worth by investing in your own growth. Read books, listen to audio and podcasts, seek out coaching, learn new skills, not just because right now feels like you're broken, but because you value yourself enough to grow and to pull yourself back together. And then respect your worth by walking in dignity. Instead of begging and chasing and pleading, let steady actions, those choices that you're doing to work on your pies, to work on yourself, let those things speak for themselves. Dignity attracts respect. So when you walk with self-respect, you show your spouse and you show the world that you're a person of dignity, not demanding, not desperate, but you're somebody who is steady. And that kind of respect is hard to ignore.
Oh, thank you, Michael, for that motivational minute. Is that what you're calling it? Motivational minute?
Michael's Motivational Minute. Or we could just say, M.
Oh, okay, M. All right. Yes, she's my daughter. I take responsibility. Okay, let's go to one of the live chats over here just for a second. It's from Deanna. I just want to answer this question shortly. She says, my husband filed for divorce. He moved out. He cheated on me, and he's dealing with alcoholism. Is there anyone who thinks there's hope in this? Deanna? Yes. As a matter of fact, let me give you a story. It's not a very long story. It's a very short story, but it's my story. I cheated on my wife, Alice, back in the mid-1980s, probably before you were born, but back in the mid-1980s, and I divorced her so I could go be with the other woman. And in the process of doing all that, I got heavy into alcohol. As a matter of fact, everything I'm reading there, divorce, moved out, cheated, alcoholism, that was me. And people kept saying, there's no way on earth this marriage could ever take place again. There's no way to reconcile this. As a matter of fact, when finally I came to my senses and asked Alice if she would marry me again, everybody in her world counseled her that she could never trust me again. It was over, let it go. Well, we remarried in 1987. We've been happily married ever since then. And so I'm telling you right now, is there hope? Yes. As a matter of fact, that's what we specialize in. When we have people come to us, typically when they say there is no hope, Now, we can't guarantee you that we can help you save your marriage because we're not charlatans, we're not frauds. We're not going to guarantee things we can't do. But we know that what we offer has an extremely high success rate. And so, yes, not only is there a chance, we'd love to help you be part of that chance. And if right now he doesn't want to be part of this, then still call us, talk to us, because there's some things we can do to help you in this process as well. So, Kimberly, I see we put a link up now to the
Smart Contact Toolkit.
yes, it's at Marriage Helper. That's Marriage Helper, marriagehelper.com, smart or /smart. And you sure? $9? Are you
I'm positive.
Okay.
I want to help as many people as we can. We want to save marriages.
Yeah, I want to pay my mortgage.
Yeah, well, this is the way we do it. The $9 Smart Contact Toolkit.
So put in a tip for me to help me pay the mortgage. It'll
Oh
be
my
nice.
gosh.
Okay.
He'll be fine. Don't worry about Joe. All right, let's go to Rob from California. Rob, also the name of my husband, Rob. So Rob, how can we help you today?
Yeah, so I'm just calling, I guess my question is like, how can I move forward and to stand for my marriage? And my wife is saying a lot of hurtful things and has reiterated that she has no interest in saving the marriage.
How long have you been married, Rob?
25 years.
Wow, it's a long time. Do you have kids together?
Yeah, we have 5.
5 kids.
We have two adult kids that, and then, you know,
Rob, the kind of mean things that she's saying, if I may ask, you sound like you're a very sensitive man, are you?
I mean, yeah, but I'm also someone who doesn't express emotion very well. So that's
Also what? I didn't
part
hear,
of
I'm
the-
sorry.
also someone who doesn't express myself very well. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's been part of her frustration for sure.
Are you more logical
um,
and she's more emotional?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I see like, you know, I, in the past, I've always, like when she wants to do things, I've always been like very hesitant because I do try to come at it from a logical standpoint.
What kind of things would she want to do that you would come at
I
more
mean,
logically?
So, like one of the things that she's harped on a lot is like when we bought a house several years ago, and she's like, "Well, I had to pull you along and push you and prod and everything." Well, I was like, I didn't think we were ready, and I was the only one working, and I was the one that had to pay for that, and it was my efforts. I had to work, you know, like a full-time job, and then I was pulling in like side jobs, so I was working probably 60, 70 hours a week to make that happen, and so things like that where I'm just like, I don't think we can make this work, and she just
Okay,
and
Rob, so
she's
you're a
like, "Well,
person who likes
let's
to
just do it."
likes to be secure, doesn't like to take any risk, correct?
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, yes.
Okay. And when she said these mean things, did you think you deserved them?
Well, I mean, one of the things she said is she feels like she's the worst person when she's like the worst version of herself when she's around me.
Oh, so she's blaming
she
you
feels
with
like
her
she-
behavior.
Sure. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's
Do you accept
possibly-
that as being valid?
I I don't know. I mean,
Well, please don't. You're not responsible for what another person decides to do or how they determine that they're going to act and be. And so it may be that she gets frustrated because, from what I'm hearing, and Kimberly will speak to this, but what I'm hearing is she's a person that makes decisions more rapidly. She kind of thinks that she knows what she wants, and that's what we're going to go for. And sometimes you frustrate her because you're the person that's dragging your feet because you want to make sure that, you know, we don't do something rash, that we maintain our security, that we shouldn't rush into things. We could think it through. And she's been frustrated because of the fact that sometimes she feels that you hold her back. That's what I'm hearing. Am I reading that correctly?
yeah, definitely. I mean, she's expressed that a lot recently.
Okay.
That she feels like I've held her back.
So there's nothing wrong with you being who you are, and there's nothing wrong with her being who she is. There has to be a matter where that you can figure out together, okay, how do we balance this out? You know, Kimberly knows a lot about that. As a matter of fact, we talk about it a lot in our workshops there. But before she starts answering, I just want to beg you, if I need to, don't take those mean things to heart. Now, she's saying them. She might mean them at the time, or it might just be a flash of anger. But anytime somebody else starts blaming you for their choices and their behavior, they're not correct. They're not right. You are who you are, and you have a right to be that. Kimberly, am I missing the whole point here?
You know, in some ways, I feel like I need to play devil's advocate because
go for it.
There are some things that people can do, and I'm not talking, Rob, about you at this moment necessarily, but what if Rob, and again, we're not saying that this happened, but what if Rob had been really trying to cut her down or to say no and really did hold her back? Then his actions would lead her to feel a certain way. Now, her actions from that are her decision.
Are always her decision.
But our feelings aren't.
Our feelings aren't our decision?
Our feelings are automatic. They happen automatically in
So
our brain.
is the other person responsible for what we feel?
The other person, to some extent, that's what push-pull is. You figure out what evokes positive emotions in another person, do more of those. Stop doing the things that evoke negative emotions in another person.
So the other person can prompt,
100%.
but they don't enforce. What I mean is, if I don't like the way I feel, I don't have to blame it on the other person. I can tell them that particular behavior evokes this from me.
Sure.
Okay, but when we start saying you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem, that's extremely bad.
Yeah. I hear that, and I agree with that. But statistically, when we look at a situation like this, women tend to say quicker earlier on in their marriages the things that they are unhappy about, and men tend to write it off and not listen until a woman becomes quote unquote done. And by the time she is quote unquote done, it's in moments like this where most men say, I don't know why. But she's been telling you all along why. We just haven't been listening to that. Now, we still believe that there's always hope and that men can do things to change the situation. But some of that is going to be looking at the things that I've done over the 25 years of marriage that prompted some of this. When did she start saying these things that I just wasn't listening?
I don't disagree with any point you're making right there. And we've seen so many times that a guy doesn't pay any attention until it's apparently over, and all of a sudden he does. I don't think that's what's happening here with the situation, Rob. Of course, what do I know? Well, we've had 2 minutes of conversation.
Right.
But we're running into the situation more and more. I'm seeing it really a lot often now, where that you have a woman who has a stronger personality in the sense of being decisive. I want this, let's do this, this is what we need next, etc. And married to a man who is more reticent because of the fact that the man is much more involved in security. He says, I'm working up to 70 hours a week.
Right.
And if my wife comes in and I'm working 70 hours a week and I'm laid back and I'm trying to give us a little bit of a cushion to live on and that kind of thing, and she says, let's buy a new house. And I say, but I can't do that right now. We're not ready for that. And if she starts really pushing me with that, then probably what I'm going to do is one of two things. Either I'm going to yield completely, just roll over. Let's do whatever you think is right.
Yep.
Or I'm going to become very obstinate. I'm going to lock down, and that's going to frustrate. But interestingly, both those things are going to frustrate her.
Yeah, both those things.
Because if I lock down, she's going to be frustrated. You're stopping me from what it is that I feel that we ought to do. But if I just roll over, then she's going to lose respect for me. Like, why can't you be a man? Why can't you make decisions? Why can't we do this together? Why do I feel like I'm wearing the pants and that you're the one? I don't want you to be the wife and me the husband. I want it the other way around. And yet, because of her demeanor, because of being very forceful and direct, men sometimes think, well, the way I will make her happy is to continually yield. And as we know, that inevitably winds up being a big marriage problem.
Either way, for either gender, that's a big marriage problem. If the wife continually yields to her husband, or if the husband continually yields to his wife, right?
It seems to happen more rapidly when it's the wife that's the one demanding.
Right. here's what we don't know. We don't know why she feels like she hasn't been fulfilled, but that is part of the issue that's going on here. She wants out. Why? There's a reason she wants out. Is it just because he's begun to tell her no? Is it just because what he said was, she feels like I have held her back. There's things that so then what is that fulfillment she's looking for that he hasn't been able to give her yet? We know that there's the personality differences, but there's more to her side that we don't know.
And what we have happening here, folks, you have a very strong-willed woman who is trying to understand the position of a strong-willed woman, right?
I do understand the position of a strong-willed woman.
Yes, I know that you do.
So I probably understand her more than either of you understand her.
Well, I'm also strong-willed, but I think I still understand.
But you're not a woman.
I think it's a good thing that I'm not a woman.
Sure, I agree.
But you're not a man.
I know.
And I'm trying to say that in our culture, men have been taught, you're the leaders. You do this, you do that, you do the other. You bring home the bacon, all that kind of thing. You work 70 hours a week to make sure your family has what they have, and that you got to make sure that they're secure and taken care of, and et cetera. And then when that is threatened, particularly by a strong-willed wife, okay? And I'm not saying either one of them is wrong. I'm saying that what we have here is a mishmash of personalities.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. And when it comes to the point where the other person, in this case it's the female, is saying to him mean things, and he's taking those things to heart, like maybe I'm flawed, maybe there really is something wrong with me, when what we're hearing is there's a mishmash of personalities, and therefore that man can be destroyed emotionally. I'm not saying Rob is, but I'm saying that man can be destroyed emotionally by the woman being so powerful and not trying to understand who he is in his view of this.
Sure, I agree with that. I also believe that it's helpful to understand how the wife is feeling. Yes, she's the one who's probably being more domineering. That doesn't mean she doesn't also have feelings and unmet expectations.
I didn't say she didn't, but she's not the one on the phone.
I know that. But that was the part. So when you send it over to me, the part I'm trying to say is I don't think the only answer is, yes, you should not believe what she says, take it to heart. That's part one.
Yes.
But then part two is how can we get a better understanding
I didn't get to part two.
of her? That's what I was trying to get to.
Okay.
How can we get a better understanding of her unfulfilled expectations that might be leading her to feel this strongly to where she wants out of the marriage?
By the way, our first argument started when she was 3.
Never ended. Rob, we believe there's hope for you and your wife. And these are common situations that we do see both ways. It's more culturally different when it is the strong-willed wife and the husband who's maybe not as strong-willed, but it's also an issue when there's a strong-willed husband married to a wife who's more reticent and wants security. We see marriage problems from that. It's very common. Therefore, we absolutely can still help. There is hope. There's definitely things that you can begin doing right now, and we would love to. If you want, Rob, book a call with someone on our team who can tell you more. We have a program specifically for men that I believe you would be an amazing fit for if that is something that you're looking for, and we would love to help you.
As a matter of fact, yeah, typically I lead those workshops, Rob, the one that are just for men, and I would love to meet you, and I would love for you to be in that workshop as well. But as the part two, understand this. She has a right to be who she is, but so do you. And the thing here is to learn how to talk to each other where each one can be heard and understood by the other. Right now, based on what you're describing, that's not occurring because of the fact that you're hearing these mean things and you're pulling back into your shell, if you will. And so we're recommending that don't give up, but don't, if you can do it, don't react emotionally to these attacks. She's frustrated, she's angry, she's upset, okay? And people sometimes say mean things when they do that. Hopefully the woman you've been married to all these years is a really good woman. And if that's the case, you're just seeing her frustrations. And this kind of thing, believe it or not, is salvageable. But both of you will have to make some changes. And some of your changes will have to be to become a stronger personality, not become smutty you're not, but become a stronger personality. And another is learn how you can really talk things out where each person feels heard, including her.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Did you see what they're writing on here? You can tell Joe and Kimberly are father and daughter at this moment, and then that's what Meg said, and then Thomas responds, totally.
Yep, that's what they said. That's it.
The good news is we love each other deeply.
That's very true.
And that we'll disagree all the time, and it never splits us up in any shape, fashion, or form. We are loyal to each other until death and beyond.
Thick as blood. What is the saying? Blood
Blood's
is thicker than
than
water.
water.
That's what it is. Or thick as blood. All right. Which caller are we going to next, Joe?
Well, why don't we give it? Oh, I think that one disappeared that I was looking. Oh, there's a Diane. And this is an unusual question. It's not the kind of question we typically get because it's a religious question.
Let's
Are
go
you
for
willing
it.
to give some religious answers here?
Absolutely.
All right, Diane, let's see what you have to say here.
Hi, Dr. Joe. My question is, if you remarry after an unscriptural divorce, are you living in perpetual adultery?
All right, I've got to ask you a couple of questions, if I may. What do you mean when you say unscriptural divorce?
So I was married, and my husband divorced me through no fault of my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then he remarried, and then about a year and a half later, I remarried.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been told that we had an unscriptural divorce and neither party could ever remarry after the fact.
Well, if I had time, I'd do an hour-long exposition of those scriptures right now. I'd go through Deuteronomy chapter 24, I'd go into Matthew chapter 5, Matthew chapter 19, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, but also I'd be going to this Old Testament passage, but people typically never look at. In the Old Testament, if a man took his wife, he took a wife, he married her, and he did not fulfill her. And in the context, he's talking about feeding her, clothing her, and making love to her, giving her sexual satisfaction, that she could leave him. And there would be no penalty to her because of the fact that he wasn't fulfilling his responsibility. Now, I look at that, and I tie it to 1 Corinthians 7 and other places, and we're going to get out of this Bible discussion in a hurry. But what I'm telling you is, no, you're not living in perpetual sin. This man should not have divorced you. It was not your choice. And I do not have any understanding of God holding you responsible for what he decided to do. So that for the rest of your life, you're bound by this man's bad decisions. I don't see any scripture that justifies that whatsoever. Now, I'm a very conservative person, very biblically based, and I teach Bible class at my church every Sunday, and I'm a very conservative biblicist. I'm saying no. I'll recommend a book to you if you want to get it. You can find it on Amazon. I don't remember the exact title, but here's the author. His name is Rubel Shelley, R-U-B-E-L, Rubel Shelley, S-H-E-L-L. I think it's Y.
I think it's E-Y.
Is it E-Y? Anyway, look for his book on divorce. It'll be on Amazon, other places. It'll be like maybe 10 books or something. I know that sometimes people think Rubel is a little bit of a controversial person himself, but he's a very good Bible student. And what I want for you, if you will listen and believe it, is God loves you. God's not mad at you. And that I'm sure as long as you stay a believer, he's going to welcome you into heaven. And having you fret about that makes me angry. I'm sure the people that tell you that are sincere and mean well and etc., but they're wrong. And I hate they're causing this pain for you.
Absolutely. Great answer. Love it. Hope that gives hope and movement forward to you, Diane. Okay, well, I think we have time for one more call before we go to our next segment.
No, it's up to you. You're the boss. As you have just indicated in the last 20 minutes, I work for you.
I don't really know what that means. I was simply giving my point of view. Therefore, Kevin from Oklahoma, he recently did the solo workshop, which I would love to hear about, but he has some questions moving forward. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. So my current situation is, after 14 years of marriage, my wife is wanting to leave, and I've made some significant efforts recently to do lots of things to convince her that it's good to stay, and she is not being able to be convinced, and she's wanting very soon this week. She wanted to do it yesterday. She wants to have the conversation about next steps moving towards divorce and how we talk to the kids and what we need to do next to make this final and move on. And I want to push that and postpone that and stop that and dissuade her from that. There's no part of me that wants this. And so,
and how long are you currently
I'm wondering
separated?
if we still live in the same house, staying in different rooms.
Okay. And how long has that been going
on? About 3-4 months.
Okay.
And why does she want to leave? What's the primary reason?
She feels like this 14 years I have not been able to really see her and hear her and provide in the way that
yeah, but it's been 14 years. So why
helpful.
Now? Why now? 14 years. So why now?
That's a great question.
Did something
she
happen?
says she's just tired and exhausted.
Has there been any major change, like somebody
happened.
she cared about died, or somebody, anybody in her world had something happen to them? Any significant event at all?
That would make sense to me. And there's really nothing that I can see. We've actually done a lot of work personally, like individual work on ourselves, a lot in the past 3 years.
And so the person that she's doing that with, her individual work, do you think that person's encouraging her to leave the marriage?
I think it's very possible that our therapist has been more detrimental. There's a therapist that we both saw individually and together a few times. And I think she has not been encouraging towards us keeping the marriage, towards her
a female counselor
staying in the marriage. Yes.
I think we've landed the nail on
that. Who was previously married to someone of my same occupation and divorced from them, and my wife is currently toward the end of her becoming a therapist. She's graduating from grad school and going to be a therapist soon herself.
We have found the problem.
Yes, we have.
Kevin. This is why.
Yeah, she has this therapist and the grad school that she's in. Apparently she wrote a paper processing her thoughts and got a lot of praise from that paper. And so she has a lot of things around her she has a lot of wind in her back towards this. And it's really, really hard to get her to talk about anything or to try to have any conversation towards anything.
She's
other
an
than
expert now.
Next
she
steps
knows
forward
better.
towards divorce.
She knows everything.
If I may ask, what school is she going to?
Right. It's a University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. It's just not her online program.
Okay. Kimberly, you need to address this.
I don't know how. I'm so angry. I don't know if you know or not, Kevin. I went through my master's in family therapy now about 13 years ago. And I mean, in my classes, I had classmates who were actively involved in affairs and getting divorces in the middle of becoming a therapist. I strongly believe you should have to go through a personality assessment, a psychological assessment, an ethical, any person should not be able to become a therapist or teach other people how to become therapists, because it's become a world of how do we just make sure everyone is happy
at the moment
and feels good and does what makes them happy, and it destroys people's relationships. Now, there's great therapists, and we always say this, there's great counselors and great therapists. They are just a dime, like there's not a dime.
They're rare.
They're rare. They're a diamond in the rough. And so we have to find good ones. Now, the other thing that Joe knows from a conversation he's had with someone in the field privately is this other marriage expert said he believes strongly that the number one indication of divorce for a woman is having a female counselor.
An angry
female counselor. And here's the thing. They teach you when you're getting your degree in marriage and family therapy to be non-biased or to be aware of your biases so that you don't bring those into the conversation. But you do. Every person does. You can't remove your own history, even as a counselor. You bring that into the conversations. And so I believe that, unfortunately, your wife has not only her own therapist, but also a group of people who are just saying, yes, do what makes you happy. And so she's stuck hearing this and honestly becoming a new person, getting a new identity based on this new occupation that she's wanting to enter into. Now, that doesn't mean that there is not hope, but there are a lot of things that we have to just say are up against you right now, and it's her beliefs. Her beliefs have changed, and that is changing who she is. That means it's even more important that you stay strong and steady in your beliefs. So where do we go from here?
Be as strong as you can, my friend, but you can't control what she thinks. And you have a lot of opposition here. I mean, there are people helping her come to the conclusion that she shouldn't be married to you. And therefore, whatever she says about you, whatever she says, and I'm sure a lot of it's exaggerated because that's what happens when people get upset. These people are verifying. Oh, yes, people are like that. Oh, I know. And as a matter of fact, he's probably a narcissist, or he's this, or he's that, and that kind of stuff. And so she's getting fed a whole lot of
BS.
Yeah, I was looking for the right word there. And
we're going to go with BS.
If you're a religious man, I would strongly suggest that you pray that God sends someone into her world that will help her start thinking differently. That'll help her start thinking differently. But my friend, the odds are stacked against you. Now, Kimberly said it right. It doesn't mean there's no hope. As I was telling somebody just a few minutes ago on a phone call, it's a situation where when I left Dallas and was living in the lifestyle I was living, nobody thought there was any chance. Nobody thought there was any chance. And yet here we are married now nearly 40 years this second time. There's always hope, but sometimes people have to come to their senses. And so, like I said, if you're a praying man, pray that she gets the right influence in her life. If you try to fight against the influences that are already there, it's going to work against you.
She'll dig her heels in. But I think that the best move he has at this point is, let's see, he lives in Oklahoma, is to try and get his wife to agree to go to a couples workshop with him. He's done a solo.
Yes, please.
Do a couples, and even use the thread of, this is, she wants to know more about counseling, therapy, being able to help people. Well,
now, clarify, she said thread, not threat. Just want to make sure that was clear. Right.
The thread, right, the thread. Thread meaning something that's important to her that she's going to care about. Mm-hmm. So she cares about, apparently, wanting to be a counselor, therapist, whatever it is. She's going to learn a lot while she's here, if nothing else. But at least during those 3 days, our team can have the opportunity to take the things she has been learning, position them in a completely different light, and try and break through that hard exterior of the beliefs that she's currently in right now.
Thank God for good therapists. Thank God for good marriage counselors. And God deliver us, no matter what profession, medical, psychiatry, therapy. Please deliver us from those people whose values are not for marriages, but values are for independent, individual happiness at the moment, whatever that might be. That is totally immature, and it's destroying society. We'll both get cranked up here in a minute. Then it won't be any fun at all.
Mad. I'm already mad. You know, when Carl Jung first really started talk therapy, which was in like 1950s, 1960s, it was so helpful to people because ultimately, I mean, based on the way that he said it, it's if you can provide a space where you can show empathy and compassion to someone else, they can begin to change. Basically, he's talking about friendship and wise counsel. But what we have taken from the father of talk therapy and what it has become today is a night and day difference. I think he'd be rolling over in his grave.
Was it Young or Rogers?
Maybe it was Rogers. They're both in the same time frame.
Okay.
And they were both contemporaries of each other and working towards the same field. So maybe it
And
was
both
Carl
named
Rogers.
Carl.
And both named Carl.
Yeah.
So, but that really, the initial idea of talk therapy and why it was so helpful is because it was truly a friend and wise counsel mindset of the therapist instead of you need to do what makes you happy. It was just a place for people to be able to flesh out how they feel themselves without getting advice or pushed in a certain way.
I get a call occasionally to come to marriage counseling centers or just counseling centers, period, not just marriage, and do a day for them of in-service, which gives them the ability to get their continuing education units. And I love doing that. And the only ones that invite me, of course, are the ones that tend to have the same values I have. I was asked to speak 2 different nights in a graduate program, a marriage and family therapy graduate program, and they'll never have me back because of the fact that I challenged some of their beliefs that Kimberly was just talking about and saying, you guys aren't thinking about a long-term future. Mm-hmm. You're thinking about making people happy right now, and it's going out and destroying their lives. And for some reason, they never invited me to come back and teach their people anymore.
Yep. We have a chat coming through just now. After my first couples therapy session, the therapist recommended a physical separation because the therapist is a freaking idiot.
Unless somebody's in danger physically.
Unless someone's in danger
But
physically.
you're right.
But you know what? I bet not.
I bet it wasn't either.
I bet
and
not.
I bet what it was if somebody was arrogant enough to say, I'll make the decision as to when you can get back together.
Someone else even commented and says, I keep wondering what influence my wife's therapist had on her decision. She came home after her second session telling me she needed space. Space from what? It's your husband. If anything, it's the time to lean in and fix the issues instead of saying, anyway, we got to move on. Okay,
so has anybody figured out that we are really big fans of good therapists and counselors? And we are. We support them. We love them. And we interact with them all the time. But people who are just, well, we've said enough.
Let's move on to something happy. We have Kristen from our team who's going to be sharing some testimonials of some recent people that we've been able to help. Kristen, handing it over to you.
Hey friends, it's Kristen, and I'm back with some more workshop testimonials from some of our most recent attendees. So I'm excited to share them with y'all now. So this individual writes, I have been in a prolonged separation, and this workshop has given me genuine hope that reconciliation is possible. Dr. Beam and his team have selflessly distilled over 30 years of valuable information into a powerful and actionable program. This individual writes, this workshop gave me the tools and the hope to fight for my marriage and to fight well. I left home as one person, but I'm returning different. It's still me, but a new me, a better me. This attendee writes, powerful, insightful. Wish I knew this information prior to my marriage. When my daughters get married, I will send them and their fiance to this course to avoid the mistakes I made with their mother. Thank you, Team Marriage Helper. Now back to you, Dr. Joe and Kimberly.
She's really good at that.
I know, she's the best.
She's outstanding at that. I'm impressed.
I know.
We love Kristen. She lights up a room when she walks into it.
Yeah, she does. And if you ever come to one of our in-person workshops, you'll meet Kristen. She's our in-person workshop coordinator and our online workshop coordinator, but you'll get to see her and all of her amazingness when you come to see us in Nashville.
Oh, and her amazing outfits and earrings
I know,
and
all the things.
Jewelry.
You need to come just for that.
She's tremendous.
She is tremendous. If you want to know more about our workshops, we have a team that is happy to answer any questions that you have, and you can always book a call with them. You can go to marriagehelper.com/call, and they are happy to tell you more about our online workshops, our in-person workshops, our couples workshops, which are both online and in person, and our solo spouse workshops, which again are online for both genders, and then we have an in-person men only solo spouse workshop. So again, that is marriagehelper.com/workshops. But I want to tell you something else before we go to our last caller. Tomorrow we are hosting a free masterclass. So you want to be here. We're going to be talking. I'm going to be revealing to you the 5 quiet killers of your marriage that you need to know about so that you can stop doing them, and what you can start doing to save your marriage. You can sign up for that. The link is in the show notes and in the chat, so you'll be able to see that. It's at 2:30 tomorrow, Thursday, September 18th, I believe. And I look forward.
Yeah, today's the 17th, yes.
I look forward to seeing you there. So be sure to sign up for that masterclass. You'll see it called a webinar. We're calling it a masterclass. And then we're going to go to our final call for today. We have a special call from Amy. Amy, how are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you.
It's so good to speak with you, Amy.
It's good. Thank you for taking my call. I want y'all to know that I don't have the words to thank y'all enough for what y'all have given me. I firmly believe y'all are doing God's work. My whole life has changed. My relationships all around have changed. Marriage Helper gave me the tools to not only build a better marriage, but also a better self. Of course, when I found Marriage Helper, I was in complete crisis. I was looking for someone to show me how to open my husband's eyes, make him see that this is all his fault and he shouldn't have had the affair. And I needed to know how to fix him right now, open his eyes. I too went to a marriage counselor right after I found out about all of the affair and everything. And of course, that was at that point when he said, okay, yep, I want a divorce, and he moved out. And I wanted to know how to fix him. And before all of this, I thought that I was perfect, and I'm ashamed to say that I wasn't. And I realize that now. And I realized that by going to a couples workshop. And when we attended the couples workshop, it really opened my eyes to myself. I remember having to lean off camera because I was crying so bad at the realization of my part in all of this. And that was the point that I realized in order to get him back, I had to fix myself. I have a much better relationship with my daughters, my coworkers, and now, of course, my husband. I just feel better. The house doesn't have to be perfect. Laundry can be done on a Sunday. I'm not such a drill sergeant. And coincidentally, I found out that I don't have to yell at my kids for them to get their stuff done. And it just happens. I just say, hey, these are your chores, and they just get it done. I didn't have to yell at them for it.
So I'm going to ask you
what I thought was important.
3 quick questions. Sure. Number one is, did you say an online workshop? Is that what you said?
Yes, we did the online couples workshop.
Cool. And who led it?
Oh,
male or female?
It was a long time ago. Rold was the breakout leader.
That's okay. If you don't remember, that's fine.
Was it Melissa? No. Melody. It was Melody.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
It was December of 22.
Okay, so 3 years, and you're doing great. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes. So in July 22, we've been in reconciliation for 7 months now.
That's amazing. What would you say was the biggest turning point for you and your husband, Amy?
The couples workshop. It was definitely the couples workshop, because I thought I was perfect and I thought I was doing nothing wrong. And when I went to the workshop, I realized, oh my gosh, I have a hand in this.
May I ask one other question now? You said you went to the workshop 3 years ago? Is that correct?
Yes.
But you've been in reconciliation.
Yes, 3 years ago.
But you've been in reconciliation for 7 months. So what happened in the meantime?
Yes. I worked on myself.
Good.
Oh my gosh! So I hear all of these stories and where there was no hope, and I remember feeling that. I remember I feel like telling everybody I've been right there, right where you are, feeling hopeless, like there's just absolutely no hope. And I would listen to your story, Dr. Beam and Kimberly, and be like, there's always hope. There's always hope. And I was like, how? I can't see how. He's gone. He's telling me how awful I am, how horrible I am. He's, rewriting history.
Right.
And I just don't see any out. He filed for divorce. There's just no coming back. He's moved out. He's found somebody else that is, in my eyes, better than me. But I dove into the toolkits and the coaching. Oh my gosh, Jared was instrumental in all of this for me. Like, Jared worked with me and my husband, and he was instrumental. He was just great. And Community Club, Community Club was great for me because I wasn't alone, and I could, the 2 times a week go to Community Club and share my story and listen to other people that were in the same boat. And I think that we all just helped each other along. And I would talk with my husband, and then when we would get off the phone or I go our separate ways, I would think, okay, what went good, what went bad? I would journal on what I could do better, and God would give me another opportunity to do better.
Tremendous. So Amy's a great story of the fact that if it doesn't work immediately,
That's right. You keep
we've still
going.
planted the seeds. There's still work to do, and it can still work even if it doesn't work that quickly. And Amy, you've taken advantage of everything we do: the coaching, the membership, the community clubs, the workshop, the whole 9 yards. Good for you.
Yes, absolutely. Am I able to ask one more question of Amy? Amy, so I just have to know, how did you get your husband to agree to go to the workshop with you in all of that?
He found Marriage Helper. He was wondering why he was feeling like the limerent feelings, like the out of control in love with this person. And he saw Dr. Beam tell a story about Alice and how he was in love with someone else. And he didn't really at the time want to fix us. He wanted to go to the workshop so that he could get the 3 free sessions with a coach, so that he didn't pay attention in the workshop. He really didn't. He'll admit to it. He was leaning off the camera, texting his LO, and he just wanted to get to the free sessions to get rid of this feeling. He still wanted to be with her. He just didn't want the out of control feelings.
Got it.
So he was the one who actually found Marriage Helper. And me being money frugal, I didn't want to go. I was like,
well, I'm glad you came.
Pull your head out of your you-know-where and get your head on straight. And we don't need to waste that money. And
But now you're glad you did.
We need to be that in our marketing. Pull your head out of your you-know-where.
I feel like that's what I mean. God sent you guys to me. Like it's like he dropped me off in Marriage Helper. He said, here, these are the people that are going to give you the tools to fix us. I'm going to go have my little hiatus, and you work on yourself and you fix yourself. And I just feel like he dropped me off in the most perfect place to fix myself. Like my relationships with my daughters, they even say, Mom, the new mom. Oh, new mom's not going to get mad because you broke that. Oh, new mom will let you go. It's so they know the difference between the old mom and the new mom.
2 more quick questions. First of all, what part of the world do you live in?
New Mexico.
New Mexico, okay. And secondly, if I may ask, how old are you?
I'm 50.
Okay. All right. So, and you've been married how many years?
17 years.
Awesome.
We've been married 17, together 25.
Wow.
He was my best friend. I never saw this coming.
Wow.
Okay, what a story.
I thought we'd be together forever, and that was it.
And now you are.
And now we are. Better than ever. Like, he'll do dishes now. He wants to be better in the relationship. It's just, it's better on the other side. He, helps me with dishes. He'll help me with dinner, and he's amazing now. We're amazing. I'm serious. I can't thank you guys enough. I just can't. You guys are amazing.
Wonderful.
And you're doing God's work, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. That is the shot of adrenaline that we all need to hear as we go through our day and as we're having hard times. The people listening, the people watching, even the people on our team, it's hope that keeps us going. And so thank you so much for calling and sharing your story. We are honored that you and your husband are graduates of our workshop.
A quick word to our producer, Jacob. Can you take out
Jason?
that part? Jacob, I'm sorry. I've done that all. I called Christian Mark. I'm calling Jason Jacob. Don't get old,
He
folks.
thinks you're family because
There's
his
no-
nephew's name is,
There's
or his
no value
grandson's
in
name
it.
is.
Just don't get old.
Jacob.
But here's a request I have of Jason, our producer. The part about helping with the dishes, cut that out before my wife
Nope.
Alice hears that,
We are
please.
keeping it. That is becoming our new marketing collateral for women. Your husband will do the dishes after this workshop. Well, this wraps up another Marriage Helper Live. Thank you all so much. Be sure that you are subscribed, that you're following Marriage Helper on Instagram. You can follow me personally on Instagram as well at Kimberly Beam Holmes. Remember, we have a masterclass tomorrow. Be sure that you sign up for that. And if we can help you in one of our workshops, like the one that Amy and her husband attended that had a major turnaround in not just their marriage, but their life, then go to marriagehelper.com/call and speak with someone on our team about our marriage saving workshops. Joe, thank you for this week.
Thank you for letting me be part of this program.
That's right. You won't see me next week, but you will see Joe next week.
Lord willing, and I don't,
Lord willing.
get so old I can't walk anymore.
That's right. I'll be
be
in
here next
Scotland, but I will be back with you all the next week. Have a great one.